Vandeham Shiguruvaram Shiruparuvapravaram Brajarantarastikam cha Narayanam Vasudevaram Shiguru Charanam Vande Ramanavistayam Tare Shirupanugavakiyam Chakrapamutirana Namashastam Manamapi Sachiputram Matra Swarupam Rupam Tasya Jagarupurim Matirim Koshtabhim Radha Kundam Girivaram Ahoradhika Madhavasyam Svattoya Shakratita Kripaya Shivunam Vasu Bhaktya Vihida Aparadalakshai Shipta Chakamaditarangamade Hipamayitam Sharanyam Prapada Hinde Namaste Charanarayindam Panchakalpatarvasya Kripa Sindhureva Chakatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. First of all, I want to offer my humble obeisances to the Lord, feet of my divine spiritual master. You can reference to all Vishnupada to Mahan, Sekretary, Asha Karataka, Shishiman, Bhaktivedanta Samaras. Haribo.
首先呢，想我請我嘅神聖嘅靈性導師啦，一啲咧對 Wisdom Mr. Basu 實書上嘅包括聽到咧，佢什麼啦咧，需要佢哋自然敬拜嘅。
And second, I want to offer my humble obeisances to my spiritual guardians.
其次咧係想我哋靈性嘅交換，佢哋唔係自敬敬拜。
Sripad Premananda Prabhupada
Sripad Premananda Prabhu經受生。
Sripad Bhaktivedanta Tita Maharaj.
Sripad Bhaktivedanta Tita Maharaj.
And Srimad Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj.
And Srimad Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj.
And to all the assembled devotees here,
今日到嚟嘅奉獻者同埋不能自敬敬拜嘅。
So in this way，
如此嘅時候咧
，we were discussing this morning about the goal, which is we want to attain Manjari Bhav.
今朝早上我哋講我哋目標就係話咧，我哋想達到咧呢種小紅牛女嘅嗰種嘅情懷 Manjari Bhav。
And the process which is Radhanaga Bhakti.
佢嘅程序咧就係自發性嘅奉愛 Radhanaga Bhakti。
So externally, one should follow the ways of Vidhi Bhakti.
外在嚟講呢一個點樣去跟隨咧呢一個規範奉愛嘅一個部分。
Means Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam.
規範奉愛意思就係話包括咗聆聽啊、唱誦、記憶等等。
Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Satyam, Atmanhiranam.
崇拜主嘅蓮花燭啊、獻神禱文啊、以主做最主要朋友、最主要僕人等等，同埋全部嘅奉獻等等9項。
But internally, one cultivates that mood that one aspires to attain.
咁但係外在嚟講，一個人去發展嗰種嘅心水咧，我哋純粹達至到嗰種嘅心水。
Because bhakti only can come from bhakti.
因為 bhakti 咧只係能夠通過 bhakti 而到嚟嘅。
Bhakti can never manifest from austerities, from charity, from any of these things.
你唔可以通過你譬如做布施啊、做苦行啊、其他嘅嘢嚟講咧，而達到 bhakti 嘅。
Of course, service to Vaishnavas is the highest.
咁當然啦，對 Vaishnava 對奉者們嘅服務嚟講咧，係至高無上嘅。
By serving the Vaishnavas and pleasing the very high-class Vaishnavas,
通過咧去服務啲 Vaishnava 啦，同埋取悅呢啲係十分之係高級嘅奉獻者佢哋咧，
then bhakti will come.
咁樣嘅話咧 ，bhakti 就會到嚟㗎。
Because actually only they possess bhakti.
因為事實上嚟講，只有呢啲最偉大奉獻者咧，只有佢哋先擁有 bhakti。
Bhakti is not something that will self-manifest in our hearts.
bhakti 唔係一啲咧係能夠自我展示，從我哋自我內心裏邊自我展示出嚟嘅。
For example, it's not a progressive thing, bhakti.
譬如咧 bhakti 咧唔係一種漸進性嘅嘢嚟嘅。
It's not like if I have milk and then I churn it and then it becomes yogurt and then butter and then ghee. It's not like that.
唔係話咧，你譬如你有咁啱嘅牛奶你搞咗之後咧，就成為啲乳酪之後咧，就牛油之後就成為呢個酥油，唔係咁樣嘅喎。
Because actually bhakti is eternally perfect.
原來咧 bhakti 咧係永恆嘅完美嘅。
And it only resides in the hearts of the eternally perfect beings.
咁只係咧永恆完美嘅生物咧，佢先能夠擁有 bhakti 嘅。
And bhakti is only transmitted from one body to the other.
而 bhakti 係從一個身體咧嚟到傳授到另一個身體裏邊嘅。
from heart to heart.
係從心傳心嘅，
It is transmitted.
咁就咁樣心傳咗去㗎啦。
So for this reason, but the process, Gurudev has explained that bhakti comes from bhakti.
咁因為咁樣緣故咧，Guru Dev 嘅解釋咗咧，bhakti 咧係來自於 bhakti 嘅。
By practicing the limbs of bhakti,
通過修習 bhakti 嘅即係肢體部分咧，
but especially cultivating that mood of service that one aspires to attain,
特別咧去訓練去發展咧嗰種咧我哋嘗試去得到嘅嗰種嘅心髓。
then bhakti will come in the heart.
咁樣嘅時候，bhakti 咧就會入到你個內心裏邊㗎啦。
你們坐前一點呢，坐前一點呢，坐在這邊，坐前一點呢，來來來。
It's okay, you can sit wherever you want. Why should I sit here?
No, they pushing, yeah, they want to.
緊要緊要。
So as long as they can hear, no problem. So in this way, actually the most important thing is service to Vaishnavas. Really, it's the most important. Actually, it's the highest.
事實上咧，原來去服務啲奉獻者咧就係最高㗎啦。
I personally like very much to chant Harinam. This is like my favorite all-time service.
咁我自己嚟講咧，就最中意咧就係成日都去唱主嘅聖名，呢個係全時間嘅服務嚟嘅。
Because this is what Gurudev, the mood that he gave me when I came to see him. Like just Nam, just chant, 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 chant.
因為當我走去見 Guru 嘅時候咧，呢個就係佢俾我嘅心水，就係話淨係唱頌。
Just do Harinam, collect Harinam, everything will come through that.
即係話咧，你哋都收，最慢啲哈利啦，咁一切咧就會從咁樣而嚟嘅。
He said you should try to collect as much Harinam as you can in this life.
佢喺呢一世裏邊嚟講，你盡量咧收多啲嘅哈利啦翻嚟。
But then I had to enter into other schools where they make you do so much seva and serving to Vaishnavas.
但係咧，我哋
For example, with Brahmananda Prabhu.
我
Gurudev put me in that school to learn how to serve Vaishnavas.
在我嚟講咧，我哋要去學習點樣去服務啲 Vaishnava 啦。Guru 咧亦都係咁樣將我放咗喺 Brahmananda Prabhu 咧呢個精手生嘅馬杜拉嘅描述啦，去學習點樣去服務啲奉獻者佢哋。
And then he engages you all day in service to all.
咁 Brahmananda Prabhu 就係咁樣啦，要你一日咧24小時咧，去全部人都喺度做服務。
No time for anything, always serving Vaishnavas.
冇其他時間做任何嘢，只係咧去服務啲 Vaishnava。
So sometimes I didn't even have time so much to chant.
咁樣嘅時候咧，變咗我冇乜時間走去 chanting。
So I went and asked Mahabhagavat Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj.
咁我就走去問呢個偉大奉獻者Mahabhagavata Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj 嚟問佢啦。
I said, oh, you know, I like chanting, but sometimes I have so much seva, I don't have time to chant.
我就問佢咧，我好中意唱頌，但好多時候咧，我有太多服務要做，變咗我冇時間走去唱頌。
But he said, oh, but service to Vaishnavas, this is highest of all.
但係佢就話咧，佢啲服務啲奉獻者咧，呢個係最高嘅。
So actually, by serving Vaishnavas, Guru is fully pleased.
咁事實上嚟講咧，當你服務啲 Vaishnava 嘅時候咧，Guru咧係完全咧要受到取悅嘅。
And then he will bestow mercy.
咁樣嘅時候，佢就會頒賜俾咧呢個恩賜嘅。
Definitely mercy comes.
肯定咧恩賜會從咁樣而嚟。
So in this way, to attain bhakti is really ultimately you get by the mercy of Vaishnavas and Guru.
咁事實上嚟講咧，要得到 bhakti 咧係要通過咧 Guru 啦同埋 Vaishnava 奉獻者咧佢哋嘅恩賜嘅。
Actually, Brahmananda Prabhu and Tita Maharaj, you know, sometimes they tell stories about when they first came to Gurudev.
咁事實上咧，Brahmananda Prabhu 同埋 Tita Maharaj 有時候佢哋講啲故事，當佢最初佢哋點樣嚟到 Guru 嘅時候咧，
How there weren't so many people, only very few.
當時咧並唔係咁多人嘅最初嘅時候。
And they had to do so much service all day.
佢哋全日嚟做好多服務。
They had to go up and down to bring 1 bucket of water, the stairs going, because there wasn't water available.
咁當時因為冇水，佢哋都要抽水打水，就上樓梯咁樣攞水抽啲水上去。
And then Gurudev at the top of the floor, he would tell them, learn this verse, learn this sloka.
佢上完去之後咧，就嗰啲上嘅上嚟之後就好，而家你學呢個詩詞，學咗個詩詞啦，抽一桶水上去。
And then they went downstairs, did so much work, come up with a bucket of water.
咁再落樓下水咧，就攞住呢個桶水上上面。
They would chant the sloka. When they got up, they already had learned it.
咁佢哋咁樣唱咗咧，當佢行上去第3樓嘅時候咧，已經學咗嗰個詩詞啦。
And hundreds of times like this, Tita Maharaj said that they sometimes would learn 100 slokas per day.
咁樣嘅時候咧，就有一時Tita Maharaj就講有時咧，佢哋一日咧可以學到100個詩詞嘅咁樣去學。
Is this possible by our own mind and intelligence? Not possible.
呢啲有冇可能咧？如果單憑你自己嘅心意同埋智慧，可唔可以一日學到100個師節咧？
This is only possible by the mercy of Guru and Vaishnava.
呢個只係通過咧 Guru 同埋 Vaishnava 嘅恩賜咧先做得到嘅。
So this is the way they have served. They have told. Sometimes they tell how much Gurudev used to make him work. He used to be so heavy.
咁嗰陣時咧，Guru 啲真係要佢哋做咁多服務，對佢哋好嚴厲、好嚴謹嘅。
So this service is, even though maybe not in the Dham, but still Gurudev knows everything, all the effort people do.
咁所以咧，你可能未必喺聖地去做呢一類嘅服務喎。譬如你喺翻你自己本身國家做呢個服務，但係仍然咧，Guru 啲咧係知道咧你所做嘅一切所有嘅嘢，佢知道嘅。
He used to say like, some people are always trying to avoid service.
佢成日都咁講，有啲人咧成日咧一見到服務要埋身嘅時候，佢就嘗試避開佢噶啦。
And they think, oh, I'm so clever, I was able to avoid this service, that service, that service.
啲人就諗住啊，我好醒過啦！呢個服務我可以避唔做，嗰樣服務我又唔做，我幾聰明用智慧啊！呢個服務嗰樣服務我唔做，用智慧。
But actually, they're not more clever, they're the most foolish.
但其實呢啲人嚟講，佢哋唔係最聰明嘅，佢哋係最愚蠢嘅。
Because Guru knows everything.
因為 Guru 咩都知道嘅。
He has millions of eyes.
Guru 有數以千百萬計咁多眼睛。
All around him, he knows everything.
Guru 周圍所有嘅嘢，全部 Guru 都知道嘅。
A person is doing so much seva. Anywhere, when they meet the Vaishnava, immediately Vaishnava knows everything.
如果咁咧，成日周圍都成日都做服務嘅時候咧，當佢見到 Vaishnava 嘅時候咧，嗰位 Vaishnava 咧立即知道所有一切嘅嘢，佢知道。
Actually, something really nice what Prabhu said one class in Puri, maybe like 3 months ago.
咁 Prabhu 咧，大概喺3年之前咧，喺最近喺培嗰時咧，佢講咗堂經。
He said that sometimes people live in the Dham.
佢話有時候有啲人住咗喺聖地嗰度，
In the mat.
住埋喺個廟裏邊。
And they are saying, oh, I live in the Dham, I live with the pure Vaishnava.
佢哋話啊，我住喺個聖地啊，我同佢純粹奉獻者一齊住埋一齊。
But they all day absorbed in Maya.
但係成日嚟講咧，佢哋所灌注嘅
They're watching movies and this and that.
即係灌注喺家長裏邊，佢哋會睇電影啊等等諸如此類。
Chatting on the internet all day.
咁成日咧都係喺網上面咧同人哋咧去到談天啊。
He's saying they're not really living in the Dham.
佢話呢類嘅人士咧並非真係住喺聖地裏邊嘅。
And then he said, and other people, they are far.
但係另外啲人嚟講咧，佢住喺啲外地嘅地方，
In other countries.
喺其他嘅國家，
They're all day working, making business.
佢哋成日嚟講咧要做生意嘅。
But they're all day thinking, how can I serve? Oh, this I will buy for temple. Oh, this I will take to service. This I will take to India. Everything he said, all day meditating, how can I serve?
佢哋但係呢一類嘅人士咧，佢哋成日諗住啊，我點可以帶呢樣嘢印度啊，呢間廟啊，嗰間廟咁樣，成日都係諗住咧點樣真係做服務。
These people are more in the Dham than those who live there.
呢一類嘅奉獻者咧，比起住喺聖地啲奉獻者嚟講咧，係更加住喺聖地裏邊。
Because they're working all day for the purpose to serve.
因為佢哋整天嘅工作咧係為咗服務嘅緣故嘅。
So in this way, I was pretty astonished when I heard this.
事實上，當我聽到呢個講法嘅時候咧，我係十分咧頗為咧驚訝嘅。
It is how much good of service we have.
呢個就視乎咧我哋有幾多服務嘅心水。
So Bhakti, we will speak a little bit about what Bhakti is today.
今日我哋要講下 Bhakti 係咩嚟嘅咧？
Gurudev would very much go to West, explain over and over and over and over what is the meaning of Bhakti.
咁呢啲去到西方嘅時候，一再又一再去解釋咧，乜嘢係 Bhakti 咧？
He always quoted the famous verse, Anya Vidashita Sunyam,
佢經常都
Jnana Karmadi Anavritam, Anukulyana Krishna Nushiram Bhakti Uttama.
佢經常都會引述咧一個好著名嘅詩節，就係剛才呢個詩節。
To teach people what is really Bhakti.
佢教導人們咧咩係真正嘅 Bhakti。
And he gave the explanation that, because like I said at the beginning, so many people were coming from ISKCON, from distributing books for 10, 20, 30 years.
咁佢解釋到咧，譬如好多人最初早期嚟呢邊嘅時候咧，攞住 ISKCON 啦，可能會做咗派書，派咗10年、20年、30年。
And Gurudev was saying, this is not pure Bhakti, this is Arupsita Bhakti.
咁呢啲講咧，呢個就並非純粹嘅奉獻服務，呢種服務咧有個名稱叫 Arupsita Bhakti。
And in this way, of course, many people were a little bit disturbed.
但係當然啦，好多人聽到呢個講法嘅時候咧，有少少咧個不安。
So then he was trying to explain what is pure Bhakti.
咁呢係純粹解釋咧，咩係純粹嘅奉愛咧咁。
So he explained that there are, for example, this definition of pure Bhakti one time in the forest of Naimasharanya.
咁樣講到純粹奉獻服務嘅定義啦，咁佢哋講到有一次咧，喺呢個內尼薩爾曼嘅森林嗰度咧，
There were 88,000 rishis,
Don't-
sages,
當時有88000嘅聖人嘅，
and they were all gathered together, and Sutta Goswami came and they offered him a seat and made him sit down.
佢哋全部坐低喺樹嘅時候咧，咁 Sutta Goswami 嚟到啦，佢哋嚟到咧供奉一個座位俾 Sutta Goswami 坐低。
And they asked him, they told him, all the great rishis were there.
當時所有偉大嘅聖哲賢人咧都臨在嘅。
And very soon the age of Kali was starting.
啲聖人就問佢啦：好快咧，卡利嘅年代就會到嚟啦。
And they told him, please, now, very soon, Kali Yuga will enter.
佢哋話：好快咧，卡利年代將會進入到呢個世界裏邊。
It's the age of iron,
呢個係
of
鐵，
quarrel and duplicity.
係呢個係鐵器嘅年代啦，係虛偽同埋紛爭嘅年代嚟嘅。
This was 5,000 years ago.
咁呢個發生喺5000年前嘅。
And they said, so we are very worried because now, when this age comes, men are very short-lived.
咁啲聖人就講啦，佢話：我哋係好擔心啊，因為咧，當呢個卡利年代到嚟嘅時候咧，到時人咧啲壽命會好短啊。
And they have very short memories.
佢哋嘅記性係好差，
And also, they're always unlucky.
同埋佢經常咧呢啲人咧都係不幸嘅，
They're unfortunate.
好不幸嘅，
They're always disturbed,
成日都受到騷擾，
lazy,
又好懶惰，
quarreling.
成日都要爭吵。
But overall, they're continuously disturbed.
而在一切之上嚟講，就成日咧佢哋都係受到騷擾嘅。
So in this way, people have no intelligence.
因為由此咁嘅時候咧，啲人咧佢哋並冇呢個智慧嘅。
And so he is asking, please, you are the most ancient Vedantist.
咁佢啲聖人就同蘇德部所嚟講咧，你係在座當中嚟講咧係最古老嘅終極偉陀專家嚟嘅。
And you have learned all the Vedas.
你咧係學習晒所有嘅偉大經典。
And because you were such a gentle disciple, your Gurudev bestowed all the mercy upon you.
因為你一個咧係咁溫軟嘅門徒咧，咁你嘅靈性導師咧，將所有嘅好嘅品質咧，全部係頒賜俾你。
So you have studied everything and you have realized all.
你係研習晒所有嘅嘢啦，一切嘅嘢你全部都覺悟咗嘅。
And the Vedas is very vast.
而呢個嘅係偉大經典嚟講咧，係非常之廣博浩瀚嘅。
And there's so many different divisions.
同埋偉大經咧，亦有好多唔同分支嘅部分。
So it is very hard to know what is to be done, what is the essence.
咁所以咧，嚟到去界定邊啲要去做嚟講咧，邊啲係精華嚟講係，佢界定咧係非常困難嘅。
So because you have studied everything, assimilated and realized and practiced all, can you tell us in essence?
咁因為咧，你已經係研習所有嘅嘢啦，你係吸收咗啦，同埋咧，你咧係去付諸實踐啦，同埋咧你覺悟咗，所以咧，你能否告知我哋嘅精華咧？
What is in a very easy way, tell us what is to be done in order for the soul to be fully satisfied.
咁咧，請你咧用一個好簡易嘅方法講我哋知
For the self.
個自我咧要做啲咩嘢咧，而達至到咧完全嘅滿足咧。
So then the sage Sutta Goswami was very pleased with the questions.
咁呢位聖人蘇塔哥斯話咪對呢個問題感到極之嘅高興嘅。
And he said the answer, Savaitum Samparodamo Jato Bhaktira Dokshaya Ahaitukya Pratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. He said that the supreme occupation for all humanity, Parodharmo,
咁佢話咧，帕魯達摩即係話咧，對所有嘅生物體嚟講咧，有一個至高無上嘅職責嘅。
is that by which one can do bhakti. Jato Bhakti Adokshaya, that one can do bhakti to that transcendental personality Adokshaya.
咁即係話咧，一個人咧，如果能夠咧係對呢位 Adokshaya，即係話咧係超然嘅主作出呢個奉獻服務嘅話咧。
And this bhakti should be ahaituki. It means it should not have any material cause.
咁呢種嘅係bhakti 嚟講咧，ahaituki 即係話咧係唔應該有任何咧係物質嘅原因去做嘅。
And it should be continuous.
同埋呢種 bhakti 嚟講咧，要持續不斷嘅。
Yai Atma Suprasidati, to give full satisfaction and happiness to the Atma, to the soul.
日日物素不思地鐵，即係話咧，得到咁樣嘅時候就俾到呢個靈魂咧完全嘅滿足同埋喜樂嘅。
So this is the definition that Sutta Goswami told, in essence of all the Vedas,
咁呢個咧就係 Sutta Goswami 講説咧，所有偉大經典嘅精華。
how can the self, the living entity, fully satisfy himself is by doing bhakti.
呢個嘅生物體係點樣完全係去滿足到自己咧？就係、通過咧做呢個 bhakti。
But then he said,
然後佢又再講，
Gurudev explains that yayatma to satisfy the soul, right?
咁佢啲講到有一文即係個靈魂啦，係咪？
But then Gurudev says that yayatma, atma means also super soul, Krishna.
佢呢個文除咗搞作為普通靈魂之外咧，亦都搞咧係超靈啊，至尊主啊。
And if one actually satisfies Krishna,
如果一個人真係可以去滿足到 Krishna 嘅話咧，
then automatically your soul and all the souls around you will be satisfied.
咁好自動咧，你自己本身嘅靈魂咧，同埋你身邊周遭嘅靈魂咧，就全部咧都要滿足噶啦。
So it is here talking about paradharma, the supreme occupation.
呢度講到咧，帕魯達無即係話咧，至高無上嘅責任職責。
So the supreme occupation is actually that bhakti of the gopis.
咁呢一種至高無上嘅職責咧，就係牧牛姑娘佢哋所做嘅嘢啦。
They are the ones that practice the highest type of bhakti.
就係佢哋去收集咧係最高至高無上嘅 bhakti。
So, okay, now that I mentioned this point, I want to speak on one verse that Gurudev says that there are two verses, and anybody who doesn't know those two verses is not really my disciple.
咁咧講完呢啲之後咧，咁我而家要再講多兩個詩節。姑咧講到嘅，如果任何人佢哋唔識得呢兩個詩節嘅話咧，咁佢哋真係唔係我門徒嚟嘅。
So I will speak on this because it has this point. It's very important.
咁我會講説到呢點嘅，因為有呢個重點喺度係好重要。
And it is from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
呢個詩節係來自 Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti嘅。
For Gurudev, he thinks this verse is very important.
姑咧講到嘅呢詩就係非常嘅重要。
And because it's touching the point that the gopis have the highest bhakti, I will speak about this verse, the meaning of this verse.
因為咧裏邊咧係講到咧係最高嘅 bhakti，無姑娘有呢種，所以呢個詩節裏邊包含咗我想去講。
This verse is Aradhya Bhagavam Brajesha Tanadhyastadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachit Upasana Brajara Vargara Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Brahmalam Amalam Prema Pumartumaham Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Mataridam Tataradona Paraham. So in this verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is explaining Aradhya Bhagavan, who is my worshipful deity, Bhagavan.
咁 Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti 喺呢個詩裏面講到啦，後啦，呢個 Bhagavan 即係話咧，邊個咧係我所崇拜嘅至尊主 Bhagavan 咧？
So my supreme worshipful deity is Bhagavan, means is the personality of God.
佢話咧，我所崇拜嘅至尊主就叫 Bhagavan 啦，至尊主人格守神。
But which Bhagavan? Because there's so many different forms.
因為邊位 Bhagavan 咧？因為佢都好多唔同嘅形象嘅。
It can be Narasinghadev.
呢位至尊主會唔會係拿咧迪星一半人半師咧？
It can be Nityananda.
可唔可以係 Nityananda 咧？
It can be Vamanadev.
會唔會係諸如法身 Vamanadev？
It can be which other Vishnu, Narayan.
或者 Vishnu 啊，或者 Narayan 啊？
So in this way he specifies Aradhyo Bhagavam Brajasa Tanayastadhama. Bhagavan Brajesha Tanayas means the son of the king of Braj.
咁佢特別係就講出到咧Brajesha Tanaya， 即係話呢個咧係華贊王之子啊，嗰位嘅至尊主。
The son of the king of Braj is actually Krishna, Brajendranandana Krishna.
咁咧呢個華贊王之子咧，林特特根嘅兒子咧，即係咧 Krishna 咁解。
So that form of God which is in Braj,
呢一個神嘅形象咧，喺華贊嘅地方，呢、個嘅神主嘅形象咧，
the son of Nanda Maharaj and of Jasoda Ma,
係南達大君同埋日蘇德媽嘅兒子。
who is specifically to specify which form.
佢指出到咧呢個特別嘅形象啦。
There's one important point
喺呢度有個重點喺度。
that Gurudev usually emphasizes on.
咁呢點觀呢啲咧，通常都要好強調呢點嘅。
Because God has many different incarnations.
因為神有好多唔同嘅化身㗎嘛。
According to the qualities, it will have 50 qualities, 20 qualities, 30 qualities, 10 qualities, 60 qualities, according to the incarnation.
根據呢個化身咧嘅緣故咧，佢可能有10個品質、20啊、30、40、50或者60個品質嘅。
And this is like the full moon, for example.
就舉一個例子啦，譬如講到月亮嚟講咧，
Sometimes we can see half moon, 1/4 moon, 1/8 moon.
咁月亮有時係8月15啦，完全圓月啦，或者一半月啦，或者1/4月啦，或者1/8個月都有，
Or full moon,
或者去到完全嘅圓月，
or no moon at all.
或者完全咧月缺啊冇咗月啦。
So according to the level of our vision and according to the love and our desire, God will manifest one aspect of Him.
咁所以咧，視乎我哋嗰個嘅係觀點嘅角度啦，同埋咧根據我哋嗰個咁嘅慾望嚟講咧，或者個愛啦，神咧就會咧展示咧佢嗰個嘅形貌嘅某一個環節、某一面俾你睇到嘅。
This is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, "How merciful is my Lord."
咁所以點解書裏白都講到佢話咧，我嘅主咧係幾咁嘅恩慈嘅。
That He manifests in so many different incarnations just to reciprocate with His devotee.
佢展示為好多唔同嘅化身咧，只係咧嚟到咧同佢奉獻者們咧係有所交流嘅。
So actually the moon is always full.
事實上個月亮嚟講，經常都係圓嘅。
But according to our vision, we will see it half, 1/4, 1/3.
但係視乎咧我哋嗰個嘅視力嚟講，我哋會睇到月亮咧一半啊、1/3啊、1/4等等。
That is according to the qualities of God.
呢個咧視乎咧神嘅品質決定。
So God has, for example, the fullest is Narayan. It has 60 qualities.
而家我哋講到咧神咧係最完全嘅品質咧，就有 Narayan 咧就有60個品質嘅。
But Krishna has 64.
但係 Krishna 就唔止啦 ，Krishna 就64個品質。
And those 4 extra qualities is what makes Krishna the most complete form of God.
咁呢4個額外嘅品質咧，就使到咧 Krishna 咧成為咧係神咧係最特別㗎啦。
There's Purna, which means full.
有一個字叫 Purna， 即係完全。
Purnatar, more full.
Purnata 更加完全。
And Purnatama is completely full. The full moon. This is Krishna, Rajendrarandana Krishna in Raj.
Purnatama 就係話咧完全當中嘅最完全㗎啦。咁呢個咧就係咧喺華藏嘅Rajendrarandana Krishna。
So this is the most complete form of God.
呢個就係神咧最完全嘅形象。
And this is 4 qualities more that Krishna has more. 4 qualities even more than Narayan.
Krishna 有呢4個品質咧，比多過 Narayan 嘅。
Gurudev would always ask some sannyasis to speak. They would not know. He would become very angry. Sit down. You don't know. One by one.
咁 Guru 咧成日都會叫啲 sannyasis 企起身咧講，如果佢哋唔識嘅時候咧，Guru 咧就會好唔開心。你唔識，你坐低，逐個都叫佢哋坐低。
Very important point. This is.
咁我唔知呢啲好重要嘅重點嚟㗎。
So Gurudev would explain.
咁 Guru 咁樣解釋啦。
It's the sweetness first. Venu Madhuri, the sweetness of his flute.
第一個咧，佢叫 Venu Madhuri 就係話咧 Krishna 嘅笛子嘅甜美啦。
And this sweetness is only found in this form of Rajendrarandana Krishna in Vrindavan.
呢個咧係甜美咧，即係喺華藏王嘅真真正 Krishna 嗰處咧先有咧具備咗笛子嘅甜美嘅。
The Lila Madhuri, the sweetness of his Lila.
第二種咧叫做咧 Lila Madhuri 係嘅咧逍遙時光嘅甜美。
In which the rasa lila is the topmost of all lilas.
喺逍遙時光甜美裏邊嚟講咧，當中嘅那沙之母咧，係所有逍遙時光裏邊咧最至高無上㗎啦。
Actually, this rasa lila is not found in any other incarnation of God.
事實上呢種那沙之母咧喺神嘅其他化身裏邊咧係完全揾唔到嘅。
Even in Vaikuntha, there's no this rasa lila.
就算咧喺無憂星裏邊咧，都冇呢個那沙之母嘅。
Even one time, Krishna, he is in Dwarka. He goes and he lives in Dwarka with the queens.
有一次講到 Krishna 去到杜亞拉加咧，佢同啲皇后們佢哋一齊住
And
緊
the queens have heard about Krishna having this ras, enjoying this ras lila with the gopis.
咁啲杜亞拉加嘅皇后咧，佢哋聽到啦，Krishna 咧同啲皇姑娘喺邊打緊咧跳那沙之舞嘅喎。
So they say, we also want to have this ras lila. Why can't you have this ras lila with us here in Dwarka?
咁咧就啲皇后喺杜亞拉加佢哋咁樣講嘅話咧，我哋都想有呢種咁嘅那沙之舞，點解你唔可以同我哋喺呢處跳咧咁樣？
And they insist.
咁啲皇后們咧，佢哋堅持喎。
So he says, okay, I'll meet you in the there's no Jamuna, so okay, in the bank of the ocean.
咁當地杜亞拉加就冇有滿拿嘅，咁所以 Krishna 話好啦，咁我哋喺岸邊海岸邊嗰處，我等你哋嚟跳啦。
I'll be there at midnight.
我會喺午夜嘅時候喺度等你㗎，你哋嚟啦。
So then Krishna goes there.
咁後尾 Krishna 就去咗處等佢哋。
He doesn't even have flute, so he cannot play and call the gopis, the queens.
咁 Krishna 一來咧，佢喺杜亞拉加又冇笛子嘅，所以咧佢都冇一個方法即係叫啲皇后佢哋嚟。
So anyhow, then the queens they start getting dressed.
咁無論如何啦，啲皇后而家開始佢哋裝扮自己，即係準備參加呢個拿撒之舞啦。
And they put in makeup 1 hour, 2 hours.
佢哋化妝啦，1個鐘頭、2個鐘頭咁樣化
They
妝。
put sari, oh no, not this, change in another.
佢哋着啲沙律服上去啦，呢件唔啱，冇嘅第二件咁樣。
Change in one sari, another.
一路咁換一件兩件三件咁換
And
嚟換
Krishna's
去。
waiting.
嗰頭 Krishna 就喺處海岸邊度等緊佢哋嚟。
And then finally, after hours of them getting dressed and everything, they said, okay, let's go. They go out.
對於佢嚟講咧，經過好個鐘頭之後，佢哋終於着裝扮整齊啦，就去見 Krishna 啦。
And then their seniors, their elders stopped them in the door. Hey, where do you think you're going? Go back inside.
但係咧，其實咧當時咧，佢哋外邊啲長輩咧喺度阻攔住佢哋，你諗住你做咩嘢？翻去裏面唔準去。
Krishna, after waiting 3-4 hours, then he said useless and went back to the palace.
後尾 Krishna 等咗佢30個鐘頭之後咧，見到一個人都冇嚟到佢，冇用嘅，佢自己就翻皇宮裏邊。
Impossible, not possible.
喺呢度咧冇可能跳到拿撒之舞。
Rasa Leela is only possible in Braj, Vrindavan.
拿撒之舞只能夠喺華鎮 Vrindavan 先可以跳得到嘅。
Krishna played the flute, all the gopis leave everything immediately.
咁 Krishna 追隻笛子嚟講咧，所有皇姑娘立即咧離開晒一切所有嘢，走去佢嗰度。
So, Leela Madhuri, the sweetness of his Leela is the quality that exists only in Braj.
咁所以咧，逍遙時光嘅甜美咧，呢一種逍遙時光甜美咧，只喺華鎮先有嘅。
And then is Rupa Madhuri.
第三個咧講到咧 Krishna 形象嘅甜美叫 Rupa Madhuri。
The sweetness of his form,
Krishna 形象嘅甜美，
Tribanga Deha.
佢呢個形象咧叫處崩嘅底下，一身體有3處彎曲嘅甜美。
When Krishna is bent in 3 parts.
即係話咧，呢個身體咧有3個地方係彎曲嘅。
And in this way, this bent in 3 parts with the flute is actually the most beautiful form of God that exists.
咁咧一個身體有3處彎曲嘅形象咧，就係神嘅形象裏邊嚟講咧，最甜美嘅形象㗎啦。
Sometimes Radhika is in Man for many days.
有時候 Radhika 咧佢咧係掹生悶氣啫，係嬲咗好多日嘅。
She's very angry with him.
佢就好嬲 Krishna 嘅。
There's no way that she will give up her man.
咁 Radhika 咧似乎咧即係都冇，即係睇嚟咧佢唔會放棄佢呢種咁嘅生悶氣。
So what does he do?
咁 Krishna 點做咧
He exhibits his Tribanga Deha form,
？Krishna 就展示佢自己咧3處彎曲呢個形象啦。
which is the most beautiful and exquisite form of God.
咁呢個就係神裏邊嚟講咧，就最美麗啦，同埋最無與倫比嘅形象嚟嘅。
Because he puts his body like this because he wants to exhibit a very broad chest.
佢之所以咁樣展示佢呢個三曲咧，因為第一佢想展示咧佢呢個非常寬闊嘅胸膛，
And then his very small waist.
同埋咧佢條腰又好纖細嘅。
And then he crosses his legs like that so that they can see very broad hips.
咁然之後咧，佢就咁樣就彎下隻腳嘅時候咧，好似佢睇到咧，佢嗰個臀部咧係好闊嘅，寬闊嘅。
So he's trying to exhibit this topmost beauty for Radharani.
佢所以佢嘗試展示咧呢個為咗拉到嚟咧，展示呢個最高嘅一個咁樣嘅美麗。
So when he does this Tribanga Deha,
當佢咧展示呢個三曲嘅形象嘅時候
Radhika gives up her man.
Radhika 由此咧就咧放棄佢個生悶氣啦。
So this is the most beautiful form of God.
呢個係神最美麗嘅形象。
This is the third sweetness,
剛才
Rupa Madhuri.
我哋講到呢個第三個甜美就係形象嘅甜美啦
Rupa Madhuri.
，Rupa Madhuri。
And then the fourth
第四個係咩咧？
extra quality
就係一個超凡出越嘅品質咧，
is called Prema Madhuri.
叫做 Prema Madhuri。
And in this, it is the associates that Krishna has in Braja.
就係咧喺華讚啊 Krishna 啲同友們啊，
They reach to the highest level of Prema.
佢哋已經達到 Prema 最高嘅係巔峰㗎啦。
Their Prema is so high that no one can tame, in no other incarnation, the levels of Prema like Madanakya Mahabhav, anybody has it. No one else.
咁佢哋嘅愛係去到乜嘅Mahabhav咧，高到咧其他發生啲同友咧都冇可能咧有呢種咁高嘅愛。
So these four Madhuris,
咁呢四種嘅甜美啦，
this four sweetness is what makes Krishna the complete form of God.
就係四種甜美令到 Krishna 係點樣成為咧神咧最完全嘅形象。
So this is Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, Brajesha Tanaya.
咁呢個咧就係 Krishna 啦 ，Brajesha Tanaya 就係咧南達大賓的兒子。
And Gurudev, to be a little bit more specific,
咁呢仲要咧更加咧再嚟到係詳盡一啲。
Gurudev would explain, like we explained yesterday in Rasa Leela, when Krishna's crying and crying at the feet of Radharani.
咁佢都解釋到啦，譬如琴日拿撒之母啦 ，Krishna 咧喺拉力球嘅金錢喺度喊㗎嚇。
When he's in full submission.
當 Krishna 完完全全100%千
And
百
he's
順
actually serving Radha.
喺嗰刻嘅時候咧，事實上咧，佢嚟到服務緊 Radha。
He said, "This is the Krishna that we worship."
咁佢咧就話呢個咧就係我哋所崇拜嘅 Krishna。
So in this way, this is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in this verse is explaining Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesh. So that is the Krishna that we worship.
咁所以 Vishwanath Chakravarti 咧就係解釋到啦，呢個 Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesh Tanaya 呢一個咧就係我哋所崇拜嘅 Krishna 嚟嘅。
Tadhama Vrindavanam, and Vrindavan Dham is equally worshipable.
而 Tadhama Vrindavan 即係話咧 ，Vrindavan 呢個聖地呢個居所咧，亦都同 Krishna 一模一樣嘅，係咁值得崇拜嘅。
Just like we worship Brajendra Krishna, we also worship Braja Vrindavan Dham.
咁就正如咧，我哋去崇拜 Brajesh Tanaya 華贊王之子 Krishna， 同樣咧，我哋都崇拜咧Braja Vrindavan Dham 華贊嘅 Vrindavan 呢個聖地。
In other words, we should always fully, completely, continuously meditate in that Krishna that is in Vrindavan.
換言之咧，我哋要經常冥想住咧，喺嗰個 Vrindavan 裏邊嘅嗰個嘅 Krishna。
Possessing these four madhuris.
嗰個 Krishna 點樣咧？係具備咗呢4種嘅品質嘅，甜美。
Not the Krishna in Mathura.
我哋所冥想咧，唔係喺馬杜拉嘅 Krishna。
Not the Krishna in Dwarkadish.
亦都唔係咧喺杜馬拉嘅 Krishna 叫 Dwarkadish 嗰位，唔係嗰位。
Not the Krishna in Kurukshetra.
亦都唔係咧喺富裕之野嗰位嘅 Krishna。
Or any other form of God like Narayan, etc.
或者其他嘅神嘅形象，譬如那拉人等等，唔係嗰啲形象。
But this Krishna in Vrindavan.
而呢一個咧 Vrindavan 嘅 Krishna。
Then, Ramyakachit Upasana, the highest type of worship, says Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Upasana Brajavadu, the highest type of worship that exists is that of the Brajavadus.
咁而最高嘅崇拜咧就係咧 Ramakachit Upasana Brajavadu， 即係話咧係華贊嘅牧牛女佢哋嘅崇拜。
Which means those young, new brides.
咁咧換言之，即係呢啲咧係點樣講新嘅初歸新抱啊，嗰啲咁嘅牧牛女。
The way that they worship Krishna is the highest type of worship.
嗰種咧，佢哋對 Krishna 崇拜咧就係最高形式模式嘅崇拜嚟㗎啦。
This is in the Madhurya Ras.
咁呢種嘅崇拜咧，係屬於呢種愛侶情懷嘅崇拜嚟嘅。
And therefore, this is the highest type of worship. This is the goal.
咁呢個事實上咧，因此咧就係咧係最高形式嘅崇拜，而由此咧亦都係目標嚟嘅。
That we want to attain that type of worship like that of the gopis.
就係咧，我哋想達到咧嗰種咧，好似咧呢類嘅王姑娘佢哋呢種崇拜嘅模式。
Okay, where's the evidence? Where is this told?
好啦，而家證據係何在？你有冇人知道？
So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Srimad Bhagavatam Pramalam Amalam.
咁書裏邊佢講到啦，Srimad Bhagavatam Pramalam Amalam。
The spotless evidence, Pramalam Amalam, is found in Srimad Bhagavatam.
好冇瑕疵嘅證據 Pramana Amalam， 即係話咧，就喺呢個聖典寶雅壇裏邊咧，你可以揾到呢個證據。
And there it is explained, Prema Pumarthomaham, that from all the four goals of human life described in all the Vedas.
佢嗰度講到咧 ，Prema Pumarthomaham， 即係話咧，偉大經裏邊咧所描述嘅4個人類生命嘅目標啊。
Prema is the fifth and topmost goal of human life.
咁喺呢4個目標之上咧 ，Prema 對神純粹嘅愛咧就係第5個目標，而呢個咧就係人生咧最高至高無上嘅目標嚟嘅。
Prema Artho Maham, Maham is the supreme goal.
Artho Mahan 即係話咧至高無上嘅目標。
And therefore, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Madhaminam Tataradona Paraha. This is the opinion, Madham, the opinion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
咁佢話咧，書出咧馬普馬吞伊登特切特魯納普啦，即係話咧呢個係馬吞係馬哈普普佢嘅係意見嚟嘅。
And therefore, and we don't want to hear the opinion of any other person.
因為係馬哈普普意見，因此咧我哋咧唔想去聽其他人佢哋嘅意見。
So this is very important. Shloka Gurudev would say, all my disciples should know this.
咁呢個係一個非常之重要嘅師節嚟嘅。古呢講到咧，我所有嘅門徒咧都應該學識呢個師節。
So in this way, Bhakti has been, Sutta Goswami explained this verse, what is the supreme occupation for all humanity.
咁先前啦，Sutta Goswami 解釋到咧，即係話咧咩係至高無上嘅責任職責。
And this is a very good explanation, very good definition.
咁呢個一個非常之係好嘅一個嘅定義嚟㗎。但係
Rupa Goswami, he wrote a little better verse.
但係咧，Rupa Goswami 咧寫咗一個咧更加好嘅詩詞。
This verse is actually describing is Anya Vilasita Shunyam Gyana Karmani Anavritam Anukulyana Krishna Anushilam Bhakti Uttama. What is Uttama Bhakti?
佢解釋到咩叫至高無上嘅 Bhakti、Uttam Bhakti 咧？
This is the verse that Gurudev went everywhere to West to preach.
呢個就係Gurudev去到西方國家每一處地方咧，都傳播呢個詩詞嘅。
Because he wanted to make it clear to all the people that what is pure bhakti.
因為佢想咧，所有人都知道咧咩係純粹嘅 Bhakti。
And he, in this verse, Rupa Goswami, he explains the first line describes what bhakti is not.
咁樣呢一個詩詞有4項，第一項咧，Rupa Goswami描述到咧乜嘢唔係純粹嘅鳳凰。
So bhakti means the extrinsic characteristics of bhakti, which is called Tathastha Lakshana.
Bhakti 嚟講咧，有外在嘅特徵嘅。
What Tathastha Lakshana?
Tathastha Lakshana。
With bhakti is not.
咁咧呢啲係講嘅咧，Bhakti 唔係咩嘢嚟嘅？
So it says Anya Vilasita Shunyam.
即係 Anabhilasita Shunyam。
Shunya means it is completely devoid of all Anya Vilasa desires.
Shunyam 即係話咧完全冇任何 Anabhilasita， 即係話咧其他嘅慾望，再冇其他慾望咁解。
Bhakti should not have any, it should be devoid of all desires.
Bhakti 應該係再冇咗其他嘅慾望啦。
Only the desire to give pleasure to God.
只係咧所有嘅慾望咧，想去俾到喜樂咧，俾到喜悅俾神。
So the word is Anya Vilasa.
咁嗰個叫 Anabhilasa。
So why does Rupa Goswami add the suffix Sita? Anya Vilasita Shunyam.
點解加埋字尾咧 ？Anabhilasita Shunyam 咧？
Because that means that some desires are okay.
咁但係佢意思即係話有某啲慾望係 OK 嘅。
So it is explained that Anya Vilasita means when a person, for example, is in a car and is going to have an accident.
譬如舉一個例子，一個喺個車裏邊嚟講咧，佢將要有一個意外發生啦，
In a calamity.
喺一個災難性情況之下。
If the person says, Krishna, Krishna, please help me, save me, save me.
如果喺個情況之下，佢喺度哦 Krishna，請你救我啦咁樣。
He said this type of desires
佢話呢一類嘅慾望嚟講咧，
for emergency,
喺緊急時候嘅慾望咧，
these are permitted.
呢種嘅慾望咧係可以被容許被批准嘅。
Therefore, it is added Sita, Anya Vila Sita.
因為咁嘅緣故咧，所以咧喺呢個字 Anabhilas 後邊咧就加咗 Sita 呢個字尾喺後邊。
But not like if I'm chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna, oh I want this, Hare Krishna, Krishna, I want that. And I'm meditating every day that I want this kind of desire, premeditated. This is not.
唔係話咧，我一路念 Hare Krishna 嘅時候咧，我諗住我要呢一樣，我要嗰一樣，咁每一日都喺度念嘅時候都喺度諗，呢啲叫咧預先有預謀或者係即係有冥想嘅咁樣嘅慾望，咁樣就唔得啦。
So in this way,
如此嘅時候咧，
it should not be, it should be completely Anavilashita Shunyam, devoid of all desires.
咁因此佢應該係咧，Bhakti 嚟講咧係完全再冇其他嘅慾望嘅。
Only that desire of emergency, of any calamity, emergency, then is okay.
有時只係喺某啲嘅緊急嘅時候或者係災難嘅時候咧，有嗰種慾望嚟講，咁就可以嘅。
Then it says, Anavilashita Shunyam, Jnana Karmari Anavritam.
然之後叫做講Jnana Karma Adi Anavritam。
Means it should not be covered by Jnana or Karma.
咁咧換言之咧，呢個 Bhakti 咧係唔應該咧係俾思辨性嘅知識啊，或者咧果報性活動咧所覆蓋嘅。
So Bhakti should not be covered with, should not be covered by Jnana.
Bhakti 唔應該俾 Jnana 所覆蓋。
Jnana means knowledge of the impersonal aspect of God.
Jnana 喺呢個字裏邊咧，呢種知識係指咧係對於神非人格嗰一面嘅知識。
it should not be covered with this knowledge because then bhakti is completely ruined.
因為咧唔應該俾呢種非人格知識咧所覆蓋嘅。如果你俾佢覆蓋咗嘅話咧，咁你個 bhakti 咧就會破壞無謂嘅。
Because if one thinks that God has no existence and no form and no attributes and no qualities,
咁如果你諗住冇神嘅存在啊，或者冇品質啊、冇屬性嘅話咧，
and one does bhakti,
然後你又走去做 bhakti 喎，
then what is the purpose of doing bhakti?
咁嘅時候咧，你做 bhakti 嘅目的為咗乜嘢咧？
But you know that most of the Brahmavadis, Mayavadis, and also different impersonal schools, they actually do bhakti.
咁但係我哋知道咧，譬如大多數嘅叫做梵覺者啦、Brahmavadi、假象中啦、Mayavadi 啦，同埋大多數咧非人格性嘅係學派嚟講咧，佢哋咧真係做 bhakti 嘅喎。
They do offerings to their God.
佢哋供奉俾佢哋嘅神啦，
This is bhakti.
呢啲係 bhakti 嚟㗎。
They also do kirtan.
佢哋都要靈唱 kirtan 嘅。
We see the Mayavadis especially, they are always chanting Hare Krishna.
我哋見到啲假象中咧，佢哋成日都唱 Hare
They're
Krishna，
always doing kirtan.
佢哋成日都做 kirtan。
They even have deities, big deities in their temples.
佢哋甚至乎咧有好大個神像喺個廟裏邊都有嘅。
They do puja and archana and everything.
佢哋做埋咧呢個崇拜法 puja、archana 等等嘅。
But they believe God has no eternal existence.
但係咧，佢哋咧相信神咧並冇咧永恆嘅存在嘅。
They believe God has no form.
佢哋都相信神係並冇形象嘅。
He has no qualities,
佢哋認為神係冇
no
品質、
attributes.
冇屬性。
This is aparada. This is an offense to the eternal transcendental form of God.
呢個咧對神永恆嘅形象嚟講咧係一個冒犯嚟嘅。
And they do bhakti because nothing can be done without the help of the limb of bhakti.
然後咧，佢哋之所以要 bhakti 咧，如果冇咗 bhakti 嘅肢體部分嘅幫助嘅話咧，你係一事無成嘅。
Therefore, they're doing kirtan and all these things
因此嘅原本咧，佢哋點解佢哋做 kirtan 做靈唱就咁解。
to attract people. Otherwise, who would come?
佢吸引啲人啊，不然嘅時候啲人點會到嚟？
So, in this way, it is said bhakti should not be covered with gyan.
好啦，講咗咧，bhakti 唔應該俾呢種咧神非人格嗰一面嘅知識咧所覆蓋嘅。
Bhakti should not be covered with the knowledge of his impersonal aspect of God.
咁 bhakti 唔應該俾佢咧神嘅非人格嗰一面嘅知識所覆蓋。
But gyan, we need some type of knowledge.
但係嚟講，我哋作為奉獻者咧，我哋需要咧某種嘅知識嘅 gyan 嘅。
Knowledge that helps us cultivate bhakti is needed.
咁咧嗰啲嘅知識幫助我哋去培育、去發展 bhakti 嚟講，呢種知識咧係需要嘅。
The knowledge about the cultivation of bhakti and all that one incident which helps in bhakti is important to have.
咁咧係嗰種嘅知識咧嚟到係去幫助我哋發展佢同神嘅關係啊，同埋咧各種嘅哲學嘅結論啊、真理方面知識嚟講咧，我哋需要咧係好重要，需要係去需要佢哋。
But not that bhakti which is devoid of, not that knowledge which is the knowledge of the impersonal aspect of God.
並非話嗰種知識咧係講到神非人格嗰面嗰種嘅知識。
And also it should not be covered by karma.
而家咧講到咧，亦都呢種 bhakti 唔應該係俾 karma。
Karma means all the activities that one does, like one does bhakti, but one wants some material benefit in return.
咁樣嘅時候咧就即係 karma， 即係話呢一個人嚟做 bhakti， 但係佢希望咧得到一啲物質嘅回報。
This is very prominent in the Christian religions.
呢一樣嘢喺基督教嘅宗教裏邊嚟講咧係好明顯嘅。
Everybody's always praying and praying, doing so much prayers and bhakti, but they're always asking for something in return.
咁佢哋咧成日都做好多祈禱啊，好多個 bhakti， 但係佢經常咧都問一啲嘢嘅回報。
So bhakti should not be like that, pure bhakti.
咁所以純粹嘅 bhakti 咧唔應該係咁樣。
Pure bhakti should be only for the pleasure of God.
純粹嘅 bhakti 應該只係純粹係為咗神嘅喜悅嘅啫。
And it says jnana karma adi means and other things. It should not be covered by.
jnana karma adi 即係話仲有其他嘢，亦都唔應該俾呢啲其他嘢咧所覆蓋。
So these other things are, for example, it should not be covered with yoga.
咁 adi 呢個字，譬如咧，亦都 bhakti 唔應該俾瑜伽啦體為法所覆蓋啦。
Yoga means like it means. For example, there's the yoga that people want to attain the 8 mystic siddhi perfections.
譬如有種嘅瑜伽，呢啲人咧可以得到8種嘅神通，修嗰種嘅瑜伽嘅。
To to attain mystic powers.
佢哋得到啲神嘅力量啦。
So all these things, bhakti should not be covered by this.
咁所以 bhakti 咧唔應該被上述呢啲咁嘅嘢所覆蓋咗嘅。
So this is the first line describing what bhakti is not.
咁先頭嗰度咧，即係頭嗰行咧解釋到咧，bhakti 唔係咩嘢。
Means bhakti, yeah, this is extrinsic characteristics of bhakti.
咁呢個叫做咧係。
But now it will describe what bhakti directly is.
而家第二行咧就會解釋到 bhakti 係咩咧，直接係 bhakti 係咩嚟嘅。
And this is described as Swarup Lakshana.
呢個叫 Swarup Lakshana.
What bhakti directly is.
而家直接講到 bhakti 係點樣一回事啦。
Intrinsic characteristics.
呢個咧係佢嘅係固有嘅特性啊。
So this is Anukulyana Krishna Anushinana.
Anukulyana Krishna Anushinana.
So Anukul is one very important word.
呢度有個字 Anukul。
Because before, in the previous verse that Sutta Goswami spoke,
因為咧先前我哋第一個詩節咧，佛家我談過蘇塔嗰時咪講個詩節咧。
in which he defined bhakti.
佢界定 bhakti 嘅時候咧。
Actually, this word Anukul was not included.
喺佢嗰個詩節咧，佢就冇包含咗 Anukul 順意呢一個字落去喎。
So this is why now this verse is so perfect.
所以點解而家呢一個詩節都包括上面呢個詩節咧係咁完美嘅
？So it is said, Anukul means that it should be favorable for Krishna.
Anukul 呢個字即係話咧係對 Krishna 嚟講係順意嘅。
It should be bhakti which is done for his welfare.
咁就係話呢種 bhakti 咧係為咗 Krishna 嘅幸福而做嘅。
So we see that there's one pastime, and this is one example that Gurudev always gives.
呢個就係一個嘅係例子啊 ，Gurudev 咧都列舉咗呢一個例子嘅。
He explains about one time Krishna is sleeping.
佢講到有一次咧 ，Krishna 喺度瞓覺嘅時候。
And then he wakes up. He's a very small boy.
佢當時仲有個小朋友啦，佢瞓完覺之後咧就醒過嚟啦。
And then he starts like singing Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Si Do.
咁 Krishna 開始喺度唱嗰啲歌就咁樣唱。
He starts saying Ma.
我哋喺大陸唱媽媽，一路唱兒歌。
He starts calling mother.
開始叫佢媽媽啦。
Mother not coming.
媽媽叫嚟都唔嚟喎。
So he gets up from the bed, rubbing his eyes.
咁 Krishna 咧就醒過嚟啦，佢咧捽下自己隻眼仔。
And he goes to run into his mother.
咁佢咧就走咗去揾佢媽媽。
And the mother is churning the yogurt.
媽媽當時正喺度咧，雙手揸住棍咧，喺度攪拌呢個乳酪啊。
Making butter.
搞啲乳酪之後就浮啲牛油出嚟㗎啦。
She's singing. Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. And then Krishna comes. She's absorbed thinking of him.
咁佢媽媽咧就喺樹一邊攪拌嘅時候，一邊唱住嘅 Krishna 名字啦。咁 Krishna 嚟到嘅時候咧，佢係好貫住咧諗住佢個仔嘅。
And in this minute, Krishna comes and pulls her skirt.
咁嗰刻嘅時候咧 ，Krishna 嚟到咧就拉住媽媽嗰條裙嘅。
So then the mother takes her and puts her in her lap and starts giving him breast milk.
媽媽咧就抱佢埋嚟啦，開始咧放喺懷中咧就餵佢咧飲奶嘅。
So actually, Krishna is completely absorbed in. He is not that he's hungry.
咁事實上嚟講 ，Krishna 唔係話肚餓。
He is actually hungry for her love.
佢其實咧，佢即係好餓咧，肚餓咧，於佢媽媽嘅愛嘅啫。
So if somebody has so much prema for him, he becomes very hungry to taste that love.
如果一個人咧係對佢係咁有愛嘅時候咧 ，Krishna 變得好餓咧，所以品嚐嗰種嘅愛。
So in this way, Krishna is actually desiring to take her love.
咁事實上嚟講
That's why he's hungry.
咁 Krishna 事實上咧就咁樣咧，佢好慾望咧去品嚐佢嘅愛，係咁樣去先肚餓嘅啫。
So in this way he comes and she is giving so much breast milk.
咁呢個時候媽媽咧就為咗飲咗好多母乳俾佢飲。
But this is actually she's given all her love.
其實佢所俾嘅咧，即係俾出佢所有嘅愛俾佢。
So meanwhile, there is a pot of milk boiling.
咁與此同時咧，不遠嘅地方度咧，正有煲嘅牛奶喺度煲緊喎。
And the milk is thinking.
咁煲嘅牛奶喺度咁樣諗。
Because in the spiritual world, everything has pure spiritual consciousness.
因為喺靈性嘅世界咧，每時每物咧都有純粹嘅靈性嘅意識知覺嘅。
For example, in this world, one blade of grass, the soul is covered by the material body of a little blade of grass.
譬如喺呢一個世界嚟講，你講到一棵草啦，嗰棵草嘅靈魂咧係被呢個草嘅身體咧所覆蓋咗嘅。
And all the bodies of this world are covered. The soul is covered by this false identity of material bodies.
咁喺呢個世界所有每一個靈魂咧，都俾呢個虛假嘅身份叫做身體呢個身份咧所覆蓋住嘅。
But in the spiritual world, everything has pure spiritual consciousness.
但係喺靈性嘅世界，每時每物嚟講咧，一個純粹嘅意識知覺。
Like one blade of grass has the same. One blade of grass is in the spiritual world is completely spiritual consciousness, Satchitananda.
咁譬如一棵草嚟講，靈性世界一棵草咧，有完全嘅完美嘅靈性知覺，即係永恆嘅啦、全知嘅啦，同埋極樂嘅。
He has eternal existence. He has achieved all knowledge and pure spiritual bliss.
咁咧呢個棵草嚟講咧，有永恆嘅存在啦、完美嘅知識啦，同埋純粹嘅靈性嘅喜樂喜悅嘅。
One blade of grass, one person, and one cow, they have all the same spiritual pure consciousness.
咁無論係一棵草、一隻牛或者一個人咧，佢全部咧都有同樣純粹靈性嘅意識知覺㗎。
They are not covered by false immaterial ego.
佢哋並不受咧一啲係虛假嘅物質嘅假冒所覆蓋嘅。
So in this way, now the milk is in pure spiritual consciousness.
而家咧呢個牛奶咧，佢身處咧呢個純粹嘅意識知覺啦。
So the milk is thinking, oh, now Krishna is drinking so much milk from his mother's breast.
咁牛奶就咁樣諗，而家 Krishna 從佢媽媽嘅懷中咧飲咗咁多嘅奶。
But I see that Krishna's stomach is completely unlimited. There's no limit.
但係我呢個牛奶嘅話咧，我見到 Krishna 個肚咧係完全無窮無盡嘅，無限嘅。
Because within his stomach there are millions of universes.
因為喺 Krishna 個肚裏邊嚟講咧，能夠包容到咧億萬萬咁多個宇宙。
So that means that he's never going to get filled up his belly.
換言之咧，咁樣 Krishna 咁樣飲奶法嚟講咧，飲嚟佢都飲唔飽嘅。
And I'm also seeing that Yasoda Ma, she, from her breast, she's the origin of all the ocean of milk.
咁同埋就加埋，而家我哋要知道啦，Mother Yasoda 咧原來咧佢係所有牛奶滋養嘅源頭嚟㗎，母親亞蘇達。
Therefore, I see that this is never going to end.
咁呢個牛奶就諗住咧，如果 Krishna 咁樣飲法嚟講咧，即係一路飲落去無窮無盡，幾時飲得完咧咁樣？
She's an unlimited source of milk, and he is an unlimited end.
咁咧一來嚟講，呢個媽媽有無窮咁多奶俾佢飲，另一方面咧 Krishna 咧亦都有無窮嘅胃口，有俾我咁樣飲落去。
So then the milk thinks, oh, I'm not going to be able to serve Krishna.
咁啊牛奶咁樣諗，反而我似乎我都冇希望，我以後我有冇機會真係服務 Krishna 咧？
I'm going to commit suicide now.
倒不如咧，我而家自殺死咗就算啦。
So the milk starts boiling out of the pot and it's going to jump in the fire.
咁牛奶就咁樣從個煲度煲上嚟啦，煲上嚟佢準備咧滾瀉啊！而家要咧跳火自盡，跌落啲火度去自殺啦。
He says, I will commit suicide now in the fire.
佢話咧，而家咧我就會喺火裏邊咧去自殺啦，牛奶話。
So in this moment, Yasoda Ma, she sees the milk is starting to boil out.
咁嗰刻嘅時候咧，Mother Yasoda見到咧，牛奶正要滾瀉嘅時候。
And she goes running and takes the pot out the fire and takes it out. And puts Krishna down, takes him out of her breast.
首先嚟講咧，佢放低 Krishna， 唔好為佢飲奶住，走埋去咧，攞起個煲啦，攞起從個火源嗰時攞出嚟，就放低嗰個煲奶。
And then at this moment, she tells the milk, don't worry, I'm going to engage you in your service. I'm going to make you do ladus and burfi, many things. Don't worry, I will engage you. So she saves the pot.
咁佢就係嗰刻嘅時候咧，媽啲嘢出嚟就同啲奶啲煲奶咁講佢，唔好擔心，我將會咧讓你有啲服務要做嘅，我喺度做啲咧奶嘅甜品啊、laddu 啊、burfi 啊唔好擔心。
But Krishna became very angry.
但係喺嗰刻嘅時候咧 ，Krishna 咧就係好嬲咯。
How is it possible that she just threw me out of her breast like that and put me to one side?
Krishna 嬲嘅，然之後佢話：媽媽點解咁樣㗎？咁樣等啲我唔理，我走咗去，佢好嬲。
Sometimes a big demon is called Putana. She puts poison in her breast.
我哋上次講過啦，有個惡魔叫做 Putana， 佢將自己嘅乳頭上面咧塗嗰啲毒液喺度。
She wants to kill Krishna.
佢想咁樣去殺到 Krishna。
And she has the strength of thousands of elephants.
咁呢隻惡魔咧有成 1萬頭大笨象咁樣嘅體力㗎。
And then Krishna starts actually sucking out all the poison from her breast, all the life air from her body.
咁 Krishna 事實上咧，從佢嗰個嘅係胸部嗰處咧，吸住咗佢嘅所有嘅毒素啦，同埋佢嘅生命氣都吸咗埋出嚟。
And in this way, what happens is that the Putana is trying to get him off her breast, and with all the strength of thousands of elephants, she cannot.
嗰刻嘅時候咧，普坦娜雖然有成1萬頭大眾嘅力量啦，但係咧揈嚟揈去佢都揈唔甩 Krishna。
And therefore, at the end, she dies.
到最尾嘅時候咧，佢就咁樣死咗。
But Krishna gives her liberation.
但係 Krishna 俾咗呢個惡魔解脱。
And he's so merciful, he offers her the position of a mother in the spiritual world.
Krishna 係咁恩慈嘅，俾咗呢個惡魔呢個女妖咧，喺個靈性世界處咧，能夠做到佢呢個母親呢個咁樣嘅身份嘅。
But now, Jasoda, only 1 second went like this, she takes him on her breast.
但係呢一刻相比之下咧，瑪利亞蘇達咧一放咧就即刻放低 Krishna，
Very easily.
輕而易舉。
Because she has so much prema.
原因係因為佢有咁多嘅 prema 純粹嘅愛。
Therefore, she can control Krishna.
因為咁嘅緣故，佢就能夠控制到 Krishna。
So Krishna becomes furious.
咁 Krishna 俾媽媽咁樣咧，默默然放低嘅時候咧 ，Krishna 咧就勃然大怒。
Because the mother rejected him.
因為媽媽而家唔理佢。
So then he goes walking, running, and climbs in the mortar.
咁 Krishna 邊行邊走咧，就爬上個磨莊上面。
And there are some pots full of milk and yogurt.
上面咧有
Yogurt and butter.
上面咧有啲啱裝住啲牛奶同埋乳酪嘅。
So he breaks. He very cleverly knows which place to break, and makes a little hole and starts giving to all the monkeys.
咁佢好聰明㗎，佢知道邊度咧打爛個窿咧，仲啲窿咧等啲牛奶乳酪流落嚟之後咧，就將啲乳酪奶製品咧就分俾啲馬騮食嘅。
And then he is eating with Balaram, also giving to the monkeys.
咁佢同埋巴拉兩個一齊咧，就同埋啲一齊馬騮一齊去食啲牛奶乳酪。
So then he suddenly sees that the monkeys become afraid. He looks, the monkeys become afraid.
但係突然之間咧 ，Krishna 同巴拉佢哋能夠感覺得到咧，點解啲馬騮一下子咁驚嘅咧？
So that's Jasoda Ma is coming.
原來咧佢媽媽咧就數咗媽嚟緊啦。
So he jumps up the mortar, starts running.
Krishna 就從呢個磨莊跳咗落嚟啦，不斷咁去走得好快。
And goes running very fast.
走得好快嘅。
Looking back.
你回頭望嘅又。
Actually, Krishna is always looking back. He's never looking straight. He's always looking to the sides.
原來 Krishna 咧從來都唔會直望前面，佢成日都望兩邊嘅。
Because he has always done something wrong.
因為 Krishna 成日咧係做埋咧，
So he's always trying to protect his back.
做錯嘢，所以佢成日咧都要保護自己後邊。
So in this way, Krishna, he is running now.
就而家咁嘅時候 ，Krishna 佢走緊啦。
And the mother.
咁個媽媽咧，
Actually, Krishna says, my mother is very chaste. She never goes to the street.
咁事實上 Krishna 嗰刻佢諗起我媽媽嚟講咧，佢係非常之好精緻嘅，佢從來都唔會咧出街嘅。
So he starts running to the street.
咁 Krishna 咧諗住走出大街嗰時啦。
But Jasoda, it is Deepavali, means like Christmas time, or I don't know if you have some celebration here like that all the families gather together in the house.
咁咧其實嗰日咁啱就叫做 Deepavali，即係話咧類似我哋中國人過年咁上下，全家人喺度團圓啊。
So in this way, he knows that everybody's in the house.
咁 Krishna 知道每個人都喺屋企裏邊。
And what happens is that Jasoda knows that everybody's in the house, so she runs to the street because she knows nobody will see her.
咁咧，班啲嘢蘇達咧，佢舊時往常咧，佢就唔會貿然出街嘅，但係佢而家佢今日知道今日係過節，個個都喺屋企裏面團圓啦，所以佢衝咗出街嚟就係追 Krishna。
And she starts running.
佢一路衝
behind Krishna.
佢後面去追 Krishna 啦。
And she is running so much sweat drops fall from her face.
咁佢走得好犀利啦，咁咧好多汗珠從佢個面嘅處咧流落嚟。
And she looks very beautiful. They look like pearls.
咁呢啲汗珠咧，佢睇上好靚，啲汗珠咧好似珍珠汗咁樣嘅。
And from her braid, as she's running, all the flowers start to jump off and like running behind, like telling, "We're scolding you. We're supporting you."
咁咧，佢嗰條鬢邊上面啲花都跌咗落嚟喎，跌晒地下上面咧，佢大意好似差唔多話我哋跟住你走，我支持你。
And in this way, she starts running very fast.
就咁樣嘅時候咧，瑪利亞蘇達走得好快。
It is described that she has very big breasts, very small waist, and very big hips.
描述到呢個身形係非常之豐滿嘅，佢個胸部同埋臀部都好豐滿啦，但係條腰又好纖細嘅。
So when she runs, it's like her every step is very strong step like an elephant.
咁佢行起嚟嘅時候咧，每一步咧好似一條大笨象咁。
So she's running very fast.
佢走得好快。
Krishna is also running fast, but she runs faster.
咁 Krishna 亦都走得好快，但係媽咪出嚟走得仲快。
And at the end, she catches him from behind.
最尾嘅時候，媽媽喺後邊捉住咗佢啦。
Namami Swaram Sachidanandarupam Nasakundalam Gokule Brajamana Yashoda Vyonukadanamana Paradristamacham Takadrutamudam. Krishna is at the end cut from behind from Yasodama.
到最後咧 ，Krishna 後邊俾媽咧Yashoda咧後邊捉住咗佢。
And then at that moment, Krishna, the mother grabs him and with a stick says, I'm gonna beat you, I'm gonna beat you.
咁嗰刻嘅時候咧，媽媽捉住佢攞住棍就話：哦，我要教訓你一頓啦。
And the second verse of Damodarastakam, Jumangitanta, what is it? Brudantam, Muhunetam, Jumangrijantam, Karambuja Jumena Satankanita, Muhusasakanta, Tirekanka, Chitanrevada Modara. So then, in this verse, described like this.
咁呢個八重擔末代咧，第二個詩點樣描述到喎
That Satankanetram Krishna is looking with terrified eyes at Jasodama.
咁嗰個時候咧 ，Krishna 佢咧懷住啲驚恐嘅眼神咧望住佢媽媽
He is
Yashoda。
completely terrified like this, looking at his mother.
佢個眼神好驚恐咁樣望住媽媽，好
Don't
驚。
beat me, don't beat me.
哦，唔好打我，唔好打我。
And she's with a stick, I will hit you, I will beat you.
佢媽媽就咁同佢講，要好好教訓你一頓。
Muhun Swasakanta means he's continuously, his chest is going, crying so much.
咁 Krishna 係
Krishna.
冇 Swasa， 即係話咧，佢個胸部咧不斷咁膨脹，即係咧行得好犀利。
His chest is shaking and his pearl necklace is shaking from his chest.
佢個心口咧同埋佢頸上嘅頸珠咧，因為兩脷喺度震，喊到震。
He's crying so much, all the kajal, the tears are black, coming black kajal from his eyes.
佢嘅係喊得好多啲眼淚咧，洗埋咗佢眼上面啲裝飾叫 kajal， 黑色嗰啲咁流落嚟嘅時候咧，啲眼淚都係黑色嘅。
The mother grabs his ear, I will beat you, he's terrified.
媽媽扭住耳仔就話：我要教訓你一頓。咁當時 Krishna 咧係好驚恐嘅。
And then, in this moment, Gurudev asked the question.
而家佢講到呢個故事講到呢刻嘅時候咧，Gurudev就問呢個問題啦。
The boy is suffering so much.
而家呢個男仔 Krishna 咧受到好多嘅痛苦。
He's being terrified by the mother.
媽媽嚇到佢咧面無人色嘅。
So, is this bhakti?
究竟佢媽媽做呢個係咪 bhakti 嚟嘅咧
Krishna's crying, he's suffering so much.
？Krishna 喊又受到咁大痛苦。
Those who thinks this is not bhakti, raise their hand.
有邊個認為呢個唔係 bhakti 嚟嘅？請舉手。
Who says it's bhakti?
邊個係 bhakti 嘅？請舉手。唔舉手嗰啲咧？
Who says it's not bhakti?
有邊個話唔係 bhakti 嘅可以舉手？
She's torturing the boy, he's suffering so
佢
much.
係折磨緊自己嘅仔，我個仔受苦喎。
The boy is crying and crying.
個仔喺度喊㗎喊。
This is bhakti, yes or no?
呢個究竟係咪 bhakti 係定唔係先？
Who says no?
邊個話唔係奉愛可以舉手？
係咪愛咧？係咪？
This is pure bhakti.
原來呢個係純粹嘅奉愛嚟㗎。
This is the highest type of bhakti that
呢
exists.
呢個咧係存在裏面最高形式嘅奉愛。
Why?
點解咧？
Because exactly this word that I'm trying to describe is anukul, means it is favorable for Krishna.
咁咧係直接咧係我要將佢形容呢個字叫 anukul， 即係話咧係對 Krishna 咧係有利或者對佢係順意嘅。
So actually, this definition is so perfect because this word was not included in the previous definition of bhakti.
咁呢個詩節咧係咁完美嘅，因為先前咧我哋嗰啲個 bhakti 個定義咧，另一個詩節博伽騰嘅詩節咧並冇包括 anukul 呢個字喺裏邊。
So Jasodama the boy is suffering, he's crying, he's completely terrified by the mother with the stick that's going to beat him.
咁Krishna 咧俾佢媽媽捉住啦，又好即係惶恐啦，但係咧媽媽攞住佢一定要教訓佢啦。
But why is she doing this?
點解媽媽咁樣做咧？
because she loves him so much.
因為咧佢係好愛佢仔，
And she wants him to be perfect.
佢想個仔咧做一個好，即係做
She
完美
wants
人，
to correct him.
佢想咧嚟糾正佢，
She knows that in next life,
佢知道咧下一世咧，
I mean, sorry, when he's older,
當 Krishna 長大成人之後，
he should be corrected so that he won't suffer and become a dacoit.
佢知道咧個仔咧細個時候好啲管教佢，等佢大個咗嘅時候咧唔會做賊。
So for this reason, she is being hard to be suffered, but it's to correct it because she loves him.
如此嘅時候咧，佢咁樣係佢教佢咧係為咗嚟到係去糾正佢啦，因為佢愛佢。
So in the same way, we see, for example, the example of this Krishna when he goes to Mathura, he's trying to kill Kamsa.
Krishna 去咗 Mathura 想去殺金殺嘅時候，
So they're the two boxers, the wrestlers, yeah.
有
Mustika and Chandra.
有兩個嘅摔角手，名字分別叫 Chandra 同埋 Mustika。
And they're very, very gigantic, very big wrestlers. They're enormous.
咁呢兩個摔角手嚟講，身軀咧係好龐大嘅。
And Krishna's just a little boy with Balaram.
當時 Krishna 姐同佢哥哥巴拉蘭兩個小朋友，好細嘅身體。
And they're like enormous, they're like beating Krishna.
咁呢兩個摔角手咧好大隻㗎，咁樣打 Krishna。
And they beat him, but every time they punch his face, Krishna's laughing and laughing so much.
但係佢每次咧佢打 Krishna 打埋後面嘅時候 ，Krishna 俾佢打到成日笑。
He actually feels like they're flowers.
Krishna 感覺到呢啲摔角手打埋咧，一錘打埋咧，好似啲鮮花滲埋嚟咁樣。
He's completely bliss laughing.
Krishna 咧完全狂喺度笑㗎。
So is this bhakti?
而家呢個問題就係話咧，究竟呢啲係咪 bhakti 嚟嘅咧？
What do you think?
佢好開心喎！你覺得呢個係咪 bhakti 咧？
Who says yes?
有邊個覺得呢個係 bhakti 可以舉手？
Lift the hands who says yes is bhakti.
覺得呢個 bhakti 嘅可以舉手。bhakti 啊
Yes or no? Lift the hand.
覺得係 bhakti 嘅可以舉手啊！我嚟講。對 remind 佢哋。
Who says no?
邊個話唔係 bhakti 嘅可以舉手？唔係 bhakti。
If you do, everybody will do. Who says no? Who says
再
yes?
講一次，邊個話係，邊個唔係？係嘅舉手。
對 Krishna 奉愛係啦。
係 Krishna 奉愛嘅舉手。
Is it bhakti? Yes or no?
係定唔係？點解唔係奉愛？
Krishna's laughing. He's really happy.
但係 Krishna 真係好開心，佢笑喎，佢哋打嘅時候，佢好開心。
He's so happy. He's laughing and laughing. And
Krishna 俾
laughing.
佢哋同我打交嘅時候，Krishna 開心到喺度笑喎，
呢個係咪奉愛？
取悅到佢係咪啊？
係咯係咯。
But it's actually not bhakti at all.
原來咧呢個完全唔係 bhakti 嚟㗎，
Because it's not anukul. It's not favorable for Krishna.
因為呢樣嘢對 Krishna 嚟講係不順意㗎。
Krishna maybe he's laughing.
Krishna 可能喺度笑，
He's seeming to be enjoying.
佢似乎喺度享受緊。
But the mood is they want to kill him.
但係咧呢兩個摔角手咧，佢哋嘅目標咧，佢哋嘅心水就係想去殺 Krishna。
They hate Krishna. They want to kill him.
佢哋殺 Krishna 想去，佢哋憎 Krishna 想去殺
So
佢。
this is not anukul. It's not favorable for Krishna.
咁所以呢一樣嚟講咧，Krishna 係不順意㗎，所以叫唔係啱嘅㗎。
So they've always given these two examples
咁呢啲成日都會舉呢兩個例子嘅，
about describing what is bhakti.
去描述到咧咩係 bhakti，
So what is anukul, favorable for Krishna?
咩係對 Krishna 係順意嘅咧？
So in this way, bhakti should be anukul, means favorable to Krishna, and those are the two examples that Gurudev always gives.
由此嘅時候咧，bhakti 應該係呢個嘅係 anukul，即係對 Krishna 順意，佢其實都會舉呢兩個例子。
And it should be Krishna anushilana, means continuous, continuous, continuous,
仲要咧係 Krishna anushilana，即係咧持續不斷咁係為 Krishna 而做嘅，
unbroken,
唔會中斷嘅。
like the stream of honey.
有時候即係咧，你打開個蜜糖罌咧，倒啲蜜糖出嚟嘅時候，
Honey is not like little drops falling.
啲蜜糖咧唔會好似啲糖咁樣一粒粒跌落嚟嘅，
It's one direct stream.
啲蜜糖一路成柱一路好似柱咁樣流落嚟。
So bhakti should be like that.
所以 bhakti 應該係咁樣嘅，
Continuous, no breaks, no vacations,
連綿不斷啦，同埋咧係唔應該放假等等啊，
no Sunday, no holiday.
冇話星期日啊放假唔做啊。
Continuous, then full result, full potency of bhakti will be revealed.
持續不斷如此嘅時候咧，個 bhakti 嘅完全嘅能量咧，同埋完全嘅結果咧，將會咧係揭示嘅。
And this is the definition of Uttama Bhakti.
咁呢個就係頂尖嘅奉愛 Uttam Bhakti 嘅定義。
which also is called Swarup-siddhi bhakti,
咁呢種都叫做 Swarup Siddhi 嘅 Bhakti，
because it's that bhakti which is done through one's Swarup.
因為呢種嘅 Bhakti 係通過一己咧完美嘅形象 Swarup 所做出嚟嘅。
Let's see more perfectly any person which has attained Swarup-siddhi, like we discussed previously, a person who has attained Bhav and has realized the 11 characteristics of his eternal spiritual body. This person will actually do Swarup-siddhi bhakti.
我哋今朝會講咗咧嗰個11種情懷嘅叫 Swarup Siddhi 啊嘛。咁如果一個人達到呢種巴嘅境界嘅時候啦，呢個咪就世界最高嘅動物愛嘅時候咧，咁咧就係佢就做緊 Swarup Siddhi Bhakti 㗎啦。
But still, at this point, we try to follow because the process is practicing Shuddha Bhakti.
但係仍然跟住呢個程序咧，一個程序就係收集咧純粹嘅奉愛。
So there are other types of bhakti which are described that we should know that they're not purely the most pure form like Uttama Bhakti.
咁但係有其他種形式嘅奉愛，我哋應該知道咧，佢哋並非最純粹嘅頂尖嘅奉愛嚟嘅。
And that is, for example, one is called Karma Mishra Bhakti,
有一種咧叫混雜咗慾望嘅奉愛，叫 Karma Mishra Bhakti。
which is a bhakti which is mixed with material desires.
呢種嘅 Bhakti 咧係混雜咗物質嘅慾望嘅。
This is not pure bhakti.
咁樣嘅時候就唔係純粹嘅奉愛。
You're doing bhakti, but you're praying to Krishna, oh, give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that.
你係做緊奉愛，但係咧你同 Krishna 祈禱話 Krishna 俾我呢樣，俾我嗰樣。
And there's also Jnana Mishra Bhakti.
第二種嘅奉愛混雜嘅奉愛就係 Jnana 混雜咗。
Is that bhakti which is mixed with Jnana,
第二呢種奉愛，
knowledge of the personal aspect of God.
呢種奉愛係混雜咗咧神嘅非人格方面嘅知識嘅奉愛，
This is not pure bhakti.
都唔係純粹嘅奉愛嚟㗎。
There's also Sangha Siddha Bhakti.
仲有一種嘅 Bhakti 都唔係純粹叫 Sangha Siddha Bhakti。
This means the associates of bhakti.
換言之咧，呢啲只係 Bhakti 嘅同遊嘅啫。
Rupa Goswami describes this in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
咁所以 Rupa Goswami 咧喺奉愛嘅甘露嘅點滴嗰時，佢描述到。
And it is said tolerance, humility, cleanliness, humbleness.
譬如咧，佢有啲嘅品質咧，例如咧謙卑啊、容忍啊，同埋清潔啊呢啲咁嘅品質啦。
Live in a solitary place,
你住喺一個好靜嘅地方啊，
brahmacharya,
你精守啊，
austerity,
苦行啊，
study of the Vedas.
你想研習啲偉大經啊，
All these things are not bhakti.
呢啲所有嘢全部嘢都唔係 Bhakti 嚟嘅。
They by themselves are not bhakti.
單憑佢哋自己本身就唔係 Bhakti。
But if a person is practicing bhakti, because I just described for 1 hour what is bhakti.
咁我剛才花咗1個鐘頭時間去解釋咩係 Bhakti 啦。如果一個人去收集 Bhakti 嘅話咧，
What is pure bhakti?
我都有講識到咩係純粹嘅 Bhakti。
So that is actually pure bhakti what I described now, what I described before.
先前我所講嘅純粹嘅奉愛啦。
But all these things that I just mentioned, like tolerance, humility, cleanliness, brahmacharya, charity, austerities, study of the Vedas, all these things are not bhakti.
咁但係咧，我哋又講到啦，譬如只係去布施啊、苦行啊、精守啊、研習偉大經典啊、謙卑啊、容忍呢啲所有嘢咧，本身係單憑你自己本身咧，並非 Bhakti 嚟㗎。
But if a person is cultivating bhakti as it is,
但
Shuddha bhakti,
係如果一個人去收集同培養緊咧純粹嘅 Bhakti 嘅原本嘅話，
following the limbs of bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam,
佢跟隨緊 Bhakti 嘅肢體部分，譬如聆聽、唱誦、記憶等等咧。
and is practicing these things that I just mentioned before,
然之後又去收集剛才我所講嗰啲謙卑容忍啊、布施等等呢啲品質嘅話咧，
they are considered to be associates of bhakti.
咁呢啲品質就被視為咧係 Bhakti 嘅同遊。
They're called Sangha Siddha Bhakti, means associates of bhakti.
咁佢哋叫做咧係 Sangha Siddha Bhakti， 即係話咧 Bhakti 嘅同遊。
But they are in itself are not bhakti.
如果只係本身嚟講咧，就唔係 Bhakti。
If a person practices all these things,
就算一個人佢收集晒所有呢啲咁嘅嘢，
humbleness,
好謙卑、
tolerance,
容忍、
cleanliness,
乾淨、
charity,
布施、
celibacy,
精守、
austerity,
刻苦、
study of the Vedas,
研習偉大經、
living in a solitary
住
place.
喺靜寂嘅地方。
All these things, if he practiced all these things
如果佢修練所有呢上述嘅嘢，
without practicing pure bhakti,
而唔去咧收集純粹嘅 bhakti 嘅
the
話咧，
processes of bhakti,
佢唔會跟住 bhakti 嘅程序嘅話，
then it's completely zero, it's nothing.
咁呢啲嘢信上你全部咧係一個大零蛋，乜嘢都唔係。
So this is why it is Rupa Goswami describes that we should know that this is directly by itself, it is not bhakti.
咁所以咧係
Bhakti does not come by following these things.
咁咧，所以咧盧生嚟講到咧，我哋要直接知道咧，呢啲並非 bhakti 嚟㗎。你只係單憑跟呢啲嘢嘅話咧，你係得唔到 bhakti 嘅。
Bhakti comes only by following pure bhakti.
你只係通過跟住
Practicing.
收集純粹嘅 bhakti 咧，bhakti 先會到嚟嘅。
So in this way, there's also one kind of bhakti called Aropsita bhakti.
由知嘅時候，第三種仲有一種叫做咧，亦都係不純粹嘅 bhakti 叫 aropsita bhakti。
This is the one that Gurudev always used to quote, like talking about the book distribution.
咁咧，一般咧成日都要用呢個例子講到啲派書嗰班奉獻者，又用呢個例子啦。
He would say when people would come to him from ISKCON for 20, 30 years distributing books,
有時咧，嗰啲 ISKCON 啲人咧派書派咗10年、20年、30年書，就走去 Gurudev 面前啦。
and Gurudev would tell him, this is not pure bhakti, this is not Uttama bhakti, this is Aropsita bhakti.
Gurudev 講俾你知啦，呢個唔係純粹嘅奉惠，唔係純粹 bhakti， 呢種奉惠有個名稱叫 aropsita bhakti。
Many people became disturbed by Gurudev and even left Gurudev. Oh, he's an aparadi.
好多人聽到 Gurudev 咁樣講嘅時候咧，就好不安，甚至乎咧離開咗 Gurudev 話啊 Gurudev 係一個冒犯者嚟咁樣講。
But they didn't understand Gurudev was trying to teach him what is pure bhakti.
佢哋唔明白到 Gurudev 其實想去教導佢哋咧咩嘢先係純粹嘅 bhakti。
He was trying to tell them that what is Aropsita bhakti. He gave the example that something like when you see a rope, but it's not a rope. It's a snake, but it's not a snake, it's a rope. You think it's a snake, but it's not a snake, it's a rope.
咁
So then he would say Aropsita bhakti.
咁佢話咧呢個字都得意嘅，佢話牛碌呢個字意思即係有時你見呢條繩呢度嘅蛇，其實唔係蛇，係條繩嚟嘅。咁呢個繩個 rope 咁啊 rope 咁㗎，一條繩咁樣。
So this is the meaning of Aropsita bhakti, is that you're doing something, you're thinking it's bhakti, but it's not really bhakti.
咁 aropsita 即係話咧，你諗住呢一樣嘢係 bhakti， 其實唔係 bhakti 嚟嘅，你諗佢係啫。
For example,
舉一個例子，
when you do a big effort,
你做一個好大嘅努力啦，
like book distribution,
譬如走去派書嚟講啦。
but then you offer the fruits of that effort to the Lord.
如果你將呢個派書嘅成果供奉俾主嘅話咧，
So that is Aropsita bhakti.
咁呢種咧就叫做咧
It is not directly a limb bhakti.
呢個係叫做 aropsita bhakti， 呢個並非咧係 bhakti 嘅一個肢體部分嚟嘅。
So for many years, I remember maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 years, Gurudev was continuously saying that book distribution is not pure bhakti.
我諗咧，即係有3、4、5年時間，佢哋都係咁樣講嘅話咧，派書並非純粹嘅 bhakti 嚟。
This is Aropsita
呢
bhakti.
種叫咧 aropsita bhakti。
But then one time we were in Los Angeles,
但係有一次我哋喺洛杉磯嘅時候咧，美國，
and he spoke and he said, and I was like, what? Shocked that he said that.
但係有一次咧，當佢咁樣講嘅時候咧，嗰次我真係好震驚嘅。
He said that if a person distributes books
但係如果一個佢派書啦，
with the mood, I want to give knowledge to the people.
佢諗住個心出就係話咧，我想將知識俾嗰啲人。
I don't want, because many people, they distribute books for collecting money. Many people do like this.
因為好多人咧，佢哋派書嘅原因咧係因為佢哋想去賺錢啊。
Many people support themselves by distributing books.
好多人通過派書咁樣咧去養活自己嘅。
But Buddha was saying if a person distributes books because he wants so much the person to have the knowledge,
咁呢個但係佢話咧，如果咁佢想派書嘅話咧，令到啲人好想人得到呢個知識嘅話咧，
they don't want any profit in return.
佢都唔想任何嘅利潤嘅回報
They
嘅話
just
咧，
sincerely from their heart want the person to have this knowledge.
佢好誠懇地想有啲人咧得到呢種知識嘅話咧，
Then Gurudev said, then this is Uttama Bhakti.
咁佢講到呢一種咧就係頂尖嘅奉獻，叫 Uttama Bhakti。
And I was, what? I was so shocked to hear this.
我聽到之後，佢咁講嘅時候咧，我就好震驚嘅。
After years of hearing completely the opposite,
咁因為之前好多年咧，嗰啲講嘅啱啱相反。
that it's Aropsita Bhakti.
咁仍然佢都講話咧，如果你派書係有期望啲回報咧，呢叫做 aropsita。
So he was actually trying to say that Bhakti, if anything you do it only for the purpose of giving pleasure to God, not for any material ulterior motive, then it is pure Bhakti.
佢講如果你所做嘅係完全為咗係俾咗神取悅神嘅話咧，唔係任何不可個人動機嘅話咧，咁呢個咧就係純粹嘅 bhakti 嚟嘅。
And this is the example of Aropsita Bhakti is, for example, in my case, for example, I like lasagna very much.
咁譬如咧，aropsita bhakti 喺我自己本身嚟講，我好中意食呢個叫做意大利嘅 嗰種闊麵嘅 lasagna。
So I will make a very delicious lasagna.
我會整一盤好靚、好靚、好美味嘅呢啲意大利闊麵，
And I offer it to Krishna.
然之後將佢供奉俾 Krishna。
But is this really for Krishna or is it for me?
究竟你做呢個供奉係俾 Krishna 或者出於 Krishna 係為你自己咧？
So it's because I like lasagna,
係因為我中意 lasagna，
I make it and I offer it the effort, the result of my effort, my endeavor, then I offer to Krishna.
我將我自己嗰個努力嘅成果咧，將佢供奉咗俾 Krishna。
But it's really me who wants to eat the lasagna.
但其實真正嚟講係我自己咧想食呢啲 lasagna。
So this is Arupsita Bhakti.
咁呢種就叫 Arupsita Bhakti。
You offer the result of your efforts, of your endeavors to God.
你將你自己嗰個嘅咁樣嘅個努力嘅成果供奉咗俾神，
But you're not really thinking, oh, is this really what God likes most?
但係你並冇咧諗住究竟呢個係咪神最中意呢一樣嘢咁樣？
Is this really for the pleasure of God?
呢個係咪真係為咗神嘅喜悅而做嘅咧？
Anyhow, I'm sure Krishna likes lasagna too.
我哋知道當然啦 Krishna 都中意食 lasagna 嘅。
Anyhow, so in this way,
如此嘅時候咧，
this is the different types of bhakti.
呢個就唔同種類嘅 bhakti 啦。
But Gurudev described, we should know what is pure bhakti,
但係觀呢啲描述到咧，我哋應該知道咩嘢係純粹嘅 bhakti，
which is this verse that we just spoke before.
就係剛才我哋所講到呢個詩詞。
So do you have?
5-10 minutes。
Okay. So by all this knowledge that Gurudev gives us, then we start practicing bhakti.
通過觀呢啲俾我哋呢個知識咧，我哋開始去收集 bhakti。
But especially the limb of kirtan is the most important that he always makes emphasis in.
但係仍然咧 kirtan 係最重要嘅一部分嚟嘅，佢經常都係強調。
Because Gurudev would always say that kirtan, Harinam is his specialty always.
咁觀呢成日都講嘅話，Harinam 就係佢獨特之處。
He said that Harinam is directly Radha Krishna Sarup.
佢話 Harinam 咧就直接係 Radha Krishna 佢哋嘅完美自身形象嚟嘅。
And by chanting Harinam, the form of God will become manifest in our hearts.
通過進入 Harinam 嘅時候咧，神嘅形象咧將會在你嘅內心裏邊咧揭示嘅。
So this is the most important limb of bhakti
咁呢個係 bhakti 裏邊最重要嘅肢體部分嘅。
that we should follow.
咁我哋應該跟隨。
And what more can I say about bhakti?
仲有可唔可以講一啲關於 bhakti 嘅嘢咧？
About chanting.
關於唱誦嘅，
Yeah, chanting is very important.
唱誦係好重要啦。
And try to chant remembering the goal.
你一邊唱誦嘅時候咧，要記翻個目標。
And Gurudev would always say that no matter we can do so much effort, so much seva, so much work,
觀呢成日講嘅，我哋可以做好多努力、好多工作。
but all this effort, all this so-called sadhana is not really sadhana if it's not meant to attain bhav.
佢話咧，如果你做埋咁多，做埋咁多嘢咧，唔係想去達到 bhav 嘅話咧，咁呢種就唔係叫 sadhana，就唔係叫收集嘅啦。
That all our sadhanas should be meant exclusively to attain that particular goal, that bhav.
所有嘅收集咧係為咗咧係達到嗰個嘅獨有嘅目標 bhav。
In our case, we want manjari bhav.
咁我哋嘅情況咧，我哋想摸姑娘嘅心水文章 bhav。
And any effort and any sadhana, if we don't do it with the goal to attain that bhav, Buddha said it cannot be called sadhana.
咁如果咧我哋所任何努力咧唔係想達到呢種咁樣嘅 bhav 嘅話，呢個就唔可以叫做 sadhana。
So in this way, we try to meditate in all the services Srimati Radhika
咁所以嘅時候咧，我哋嘗試去冥想所有 Radhika 佢嘅服務，
and Radha Krishna.
同埋 Radha Krishna。
Any question?
有冇咩問題咧？
今天都是讲你舌如法当当的这个事情。
今日係咪日子啊？演繹啊？
啊，写记。
哇！而家你思考啊！你做
What?
You said today is the prayer day
Of who?
of Sharadamada. You said
Oh, really?
Sharadamada Goswami. 係咪啊
少少係啊。
Can you say something about him?
Hmm,
I don't know.
not time.
No time. 後邊啲人未繼續係。
Actually, Swarupa Rai and Rai Ramananda, they're the most only one. That's all.
OK。
Swarupa Rai and Rai Ramananda are the eternal sources of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
咁 Sharadamada 同埋 Ramananda Rai 咧就係馬哈布咧永恆嘅同遊嚟㗎。
And they are Lalita Vishaka in the spiritual world.
喺靈性世界佢哋分別嘅係 Lalita 同埋 Visakha 兩個好重要嘅目標啦。
And actually, when Mahaprabhu came into this world,
事實上，當馬哈布嚟到呢個世界嘅時候，
his mood was so deep and so deep and so grave.
馬哈布嘅心緒咧係咁深沉、咁深刻嘅。
But he wanted to taste Radha Prema,
馬哈布想去品嚐 Radha 嘅 praise、Radha 嘅愛，
but he could not.
但佢唔能夠，
because he didn't know how to work.
因為佢唔知道係點樣運作嘅。
Gurudev described in Puri in Tota Gopinath,
佢呢有一次喺 Tota Gopinath 個搬嚟個廟裏面咁樣解釋嘅。
very beautifully described that it's like a thief that steals a computer,
佢簡直例子好似一個賊偷咗人哋嗰部電腦翻屋企，
which is like the last model, very modern, ultimate model, and takes it to his house.
咁呢個賊咧偷咗人哋一部最新版嘅電腦翻到自己屋企，
And then he opens, but he doesn't even know how to turn it on.
佢等佢打開之後咧，但係佢連開部電腦都唔知開機都唔知開。
So this is Mahaprabhu. He wants to take Radhika's bhav, but he doesn't even have an idea of how it works.
咁咧同樣馬可波就係咁樣，佢一想係得到 Radhika 嗰種包，但係咧佢都完全唔知道係點樣運作嘅。
So for this reason, he has to enter into the school of Prema.
因為咁，如果呢個小朋仔喺學校讀書啊，去呢個 Prema 嘅學校咧讀書，
And he has to go under, he has to hear the Harikatha from Swarup Damodar and Rai Ramananda, which are Lalita and Vishaka.
咁佢需要咧係從Swarup Damodar同埋 Ramananda 嘅上嚟聽呢啲 Harikatha。咁呢兩位就分別咧係靈性世界呢兩位和姑娘咧就係分別係 Lalita 同埋 Vishaka。
And by then he starts to learn everything,
通過佢哋嘅時候咧，馬可波咧開始咧學習所有嘅嘢，
especially Swarup Damodar.
特別係 Swarup Damodar。
Actually, Swarup Damodar, it is said that he is the only person that fully understands the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
事實上，每個人咧喺 Swarup Damodar 係唯一一個人物咧，佢完完全全咧係明白到馬可波嘅心水嘅。
And if anybody else knows
如果有冇人知道嘅話咧，
all this, the moods of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu,
佢哋知道書住馬可波嘅心水嘅話咧，
they have learned it from Swarup Damodar.
原來咧佢哋係從 Swarup Damodar 學翻嚟嘅。
He was his most intimate associate in Gambhira.
佢係馬可波咧喺一個叫地方叫禁於樓裏邊嚟講咧，最親密嘅同友㗎啦。
In Jagannath Puri, there's a temple, and he would live in a little room. His last years, Mahaprabhu would experience the highest moods of Madanake Mahaba.
咁咧喺將緊普利嗰處咧，呢個有間廟裏邊有間好細嘅房，喺嗰個房裏邊咧，馬可波咧喺個最美年月裏邊咧，就喺嗰度咧經驗到最高形式嘅個叫Madanake Mahaba。
And he was always an associate of Mahaprabhu Swarup Damodar.
咁馬可波經常咧都係在Swarup Damodar聯誼之下嘅。
But Mahaprabhu, okay, it's time to go now. No, so this is all I'm going to say.
我唔會再講作多
He
呢
is
個
the most, actually, but Gurudev said in Puri, everybody thinks Swarup Damodar is the most intimate associate of Mahaprabhu.
咁嗰啲喺普利嘅時候講到咧，每個人都諗住咧係Swarup Damodar係馬可波最親密嘅同友。
Because he's always in Gambhir and this room sharing with him.
咁因為其實喺禁於樓同馬可波咧共處一室嘅。
But actually Gurudev says that the most intimate associate is Gadadhar Pandit.
但係嗰啲講其實真係最親密嘅同友咧就係加德哈拉帕列。
Although he never goes to Gambhira.
雖然加德哈拉從來都唔會去到禁於樓嘅，
Because Mahaprabhu wants to experience the mood of Radharani.
因為馬可波係經驗到拉當年嘅心水。
And if Gadadhar would go to Gambhira, he will become Krishna when Radharani is there, Gadadhar.
咁因為咧，如果咧係加德哈拉去咗禁於樓嘅時候咧，咁馬可波就會變做 Krishna 㗎啦。
So for this reason, Gadadhar never goes to Gambhira.
因為咁嘅原因咧，加德哈拉從來都唔去禁於樓，
Because he wants to fulfill his desire to experience the mood, her mood of Radharani.
因為咧加德哈拉佢係拉當年本人嚟㗎，咁佢咧就想馬可波去經驗配拉當年自己拉當年嘅心水。
But Gurudev says, but from distance, he's supplying all the bhavs.
但係咧，嗰啲講到啦，加德哈拉咧從一個遠距離咁樣，佢去供應所有嘅呢啲咁樣嘅情懷同埋心水。
And there at night he experiences all this high size love of Radharani.
佢哋都係經常話經驗到咧，拉當年最高呢啲咁樣嘅狂喜啊啲心水。
The Lord of Radharani. Thank you very much, Nanda Prabhu ki jai. Nanda Prabhu ki jai. Hi.